My name is Owen Marsh, and for almost 2 years, I worked on an oil platform in the middle of the North Sea. The platform was called Meridian 7. Most of the crew just called it M7. It sat roughly 120 miles east of Aberdeen, far enough out that land stopped feeling real after your first day aboard. Everything around us was grey water, grey sky, steel railings, yellow cranes, red warning lights, and the constant vibration of machinery moving beneath your boots. I liked it out there immediately. Offshore work did not reward imagination. It rewarded attention, patience, and doing things the same right way every single time. My supervisor was a man named Ellis Crane, maintenance lead, shaved head, thick wrists, the posture of someone who would spend half his life ducking through low steel doorways. Ellis was not warm, but out there, fair mattered more than friendly. He walked me through the maintenance level on my first afternoon. He did not give speeches. He pointed to things and told me what would kill me. What I did not understand were the bells. Old brass bells. Polished. Too polished for the rest of the platform. Mounted at different points around the rig. Near the crane deck, the outer walkways, the maintenance stairs. They were not connected to any alarm system, not electric, just bells, bolted into place, waiting. I asked Ellis what they were for. He looked at the bell, then back at me. "You'll be told." That was the first answer I got about anything unusual on M7, and it turned out to be the most common one. There were 6 rules on that platform, printed on a laminated card, no title, no company logo. Just 6 rules. Rule 1. Do not go into the water, unless absolutely necessary. The North Sea looks flat from above when the wind dies down. But that surface is a lie. Beneath it, temperature drops fast. Light disappears even faster. And the depth becomes something you stop thinking about, because there is no useful way to measure it with your eyes. There are sharks in that water. Porbeagles. Fast. Powerful. Comfortable in the cold. And then there are the Greenland sharks. Harder to explain. They move slowly. They live deep. Some of them are estimated to be over 200 years old. When they come up, it is not dramatic. It is not a burst of speed. It is a presence. Ellis told me that part like he was describing a machine. They don't rush you. You won't see a charge. You won't see a fin. If one of those is there, it's already under you. I saw why, about 9 days into my first rotation. We were working the lower maintenance level. The sea was calm. The kind of day where the platform felt stable enough that you forgot how much of it was suspended above open water. A welder named Marcus Cole was leaning out over a section of pipe, checking a joint. His boot lost purchase on the wet metal. His weight shifted just enough that the harness line went slack instead of catching him. 1 second he was there. The next second he was gone. I grabbed the life ring and threw it as far as I could. Marcus reached for it. His hand got within inches of it. And then the water under him changed. It didn't explode. It didn't churn. It tightened. The surface pulled inward, like something had displaced it from below, and Marcus dropped out of sight in a single motion that didn't match the waves around him. There was no second surface, no struggle, no body coming back up. Rule 2. Never curse the ocean. About 2 weeks into my rotation, a man named Daryl Holt sat across from me in the galley. He pushed his tray away, leaned back, looked toward the windows, and said what no one on that platform was ever supposed to say. "I hate this ocean. The reaction was immediate. Ellis stopped eating. Others set their forks down. Someone turned in his seat like he hadn't heard correctly. Ellis walked over slowly. "Do not say that again," he said. Daryl didn't show up for shift the next morning. His bed was empty, not made, not stripped, just empty. His boots were still placed neatly under the frame. His locker was closed. Nothing looked disturbed, just gone. A week later, a supply vessel reported debris 5 miles south of our position. Clothing, partial remains, no further details. Nobody said Daryl's name when they talked about it. Nobody connected it back to the galley. But after that, nobody spoke against the ocean. Not in frustration. Not in passing. Not even under their breath. Rule 3. If you see the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, ring the bells. It happened late in the afternoon, 3 weeks into my second rotation. I was working the Western Walkway. Routine work. Log-in pressure readings. Moving station to station. And then I saw her, standing on the lower platform, not far out, maybe 15 feet below me, on a section of steel that connected one of the support legs to the outer frame. It wasn't a place anyone would stand without a harness, not a place anyone would just appear. She wasn't holding on to anything. She wasn't braced against the wind. She wore a long, light-colored dress that moved slightly, but didn't react the way fabric should out there. It didn't snap or whip. It just shifted slowly, like it was underwater instead of in open air. And then she turned. She was just perfect. Clear skin. Calm expression. Eyes fixed on me, like she had already been expecting me to look down. For a second, everything else faded. The noise of the platform dropped back. The wind didn't feel as strong. The vibration under my feet went dull. She raised one hand. Just slightly. Just enough. She took a step backward. Not away from me. Toward the edge. There was no railing where she was standing. Just open space. And water below. I shifted my weight forward without thinking. My hand came off the railing. I didn't feel alarmed. I didn't feel like anything was wrong. I felt like I just needed to follow. And then the bell hit. A single violent strike of metal on metal that cut through everything else on the platform. Then another, and the world snapped back all at once. The wind came rushing in. The machinery noise returned at full volume. I grabbed the railing, I looked down, and she was gone. A technician named Silas Ward had rung the bell. "You see her?" I nodded. "How close were you?" I didn't answer. He already knew. "You think you'll recognize it? You won't. Not until it's already working." Rule 4. Always carry green Tic Tacs. Everyone on M7 carried the same small green box, tucked into a pocket, inside a jacket. Nobody ate them. Nobody offered them. Nobody explained what they were for. I asked once and got a straight answer. Nobody knows. It's company policy. You carry them because you're told to. Rule 5. If the platform starts to shake, radio headquarters and shout the code into the water. You know the difference between machinery and something else. When this started, it wasn't loud. It was deep. A slow, heavy movement that came up through the structure like something was pushing against the rig from underneath. Ellis's voice came over the radio. "Get headquarters." 6 numbers came back. No explanation. Just 6 digits. Ellis handed me a megaphone. "Say it. Into the water." 6, 6, 7, 5, 9, 4. Once, then again, then a third time. And then it stopped. All at once. Rule 6. Only wear company-issued life jackets. They're easy to spot. bright yellow, heavier than they should be. Red stitching along the seams. We had a fire on the lower deck. 3 men reached the edge. The first went over without a vest. He surfaced, then vanished. The second wore a company vest. Something circled him, then left. He lived. The third wore a normal vest. He hit the water. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the water changed, and he went under. I still work on M7. Same rotation, same crew more or less. The number always settles back to 27. The job hasn't changed. Same noise, same steel, same ocean. I still like it out here. But I follow the rules now, no exceptions. At night I still look down into the water. Same dark surface, same slow movement, nothing visible. The ocean always looks empty, but it never is.